Any need for executive session tonight?
Personnel.
Recording in progress.
Personnel. Any others?
Do you have a
Personnel.
personnel?
Mhm.
No, but
Ready to go, motion to go into executive.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any need to amend the agenda? I guess, yeah, we should add sidewalks onto there. We have a new quote. Anyone else have anything?
I think last meeting, we said we were gonna put those parking signs along, is it Arch or Elm? Elm. Parking signs along Elm, that we were gonna discuss them at this meeting.
Oh. Okay. Anything else?
Move to accept agenda as amended.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Alright, so minutes of August 17th. Not a huge deal probably, but I don't think I stated that the money for the sidewalks would come from highway, village, and ARPA. I think I had just said ARPA. Didn't you say all three? I know I didn't say it.
No.
I mentioned ARPA,
We had talked about it when you did it. All
Yeah.
from ARPA, I thought, but-
so,
Well, it may have been,
Memory.
I remember well, no, I know I said village fund could do part of it,
Could do
because we got
part.
money in there
We
and.
talked about some from highway. Yeah, we talked highway, village. ARPA.
yeah.
Is it?
That may have been me instead of Elisa, or Alicia.
What's that good?
Listen, oh my God,
Yeah.
I've got so many Alicias, Elisas in my life, I confuse them all.
Okay. That's all I had. Anyone else? Alright.
Are you okay with them then?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, here you go. Oh, with the cannabis ones in there. Do you want me to put that with you or wait? I'll wait. Let me put the clip on the right one. You can have it this time.
Yeah, do it all at once, really.
Okay.
Yeah. let's do that.
No,
Fine to me.
now you can have it.
Alright, anything on the orders?
Yeah, there was engineering ventures for 47, 25, 44, Fire Hill, West Creek. Is that the screw up in, engineering on that culvert? Is that,
I don't know if that's just the regular engineering, the changes that were made. Let me find it. $44, you said?
the amount's 47, 25, 44, it's line item 858. Or vendor 858.
Okay, so part of that, no, This is when they all came, the folks that come out to do the site plan, they have assistants that come out and they do all the laser site plan locating. They were charged on that one. $35.71 of it was for them coming out to do that. And then also his boss and some oversight was $990 and $65 of it. So it was truly the work on West Creek.
Okay, so it wasn't the,
It was not from that.
not the redo.
And I've been
because the guy
looking
didn't-
at them. I don't recall seeing, if there is a bill that says that, I don't recall seeing it because I've been watching.
Okay.
Because I would have yanked it if it said that.
Well, yeah.
No, this was for the beginning.
I see there was a item 1025, culvert on Cornell Road 2675. I haven't seen any. Was there a culvert up there somewhere you're going to change, or?
We did change, it was a, in the dip by Fox's, the driveway culvert that had failed. That I felt it should be changed, so it didn't affect our road.
The driveway culvert's not across the road.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't seen anything happen on that road.
Nothing.
Road. What the heck is it?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
how did a driveway culvert cost almost $3,000?
Seems like quite a bit, but
It's 26, almost 27.
Well, the whole, it wasn't, the whole amount wasn't for Cornell. I ordered 60 feet, so we have 40 feet on hand, 24 inch, we put 20 feet in the ground there. And it's 2490 or 2449 foot.
Okay. All right, so it wasn't all you,
Total-
so you
total
still
amount.
got some
I
left,
have, yes, we have 40 feet in stock for,
washouts or
In
whatever.
case.
Okay, no, yeah.
yeah,
that's
they had it in
a
stock.
lot of money for
No.
20 feet of culvert.
Yeah.
So could you enlighten me a little bit on the policy with driveway culverts?
Yeah, it's, probably could use some looking over and some tweaking. If resident did call, ask about it, I looked at it. I felt it needed to be replaced, so as it's worded, if I think it should be replaced, then we'll redo it. If the resident wants it replaced, someone else would like their replaced, then we'll do the work, they pay for the culvert. Kind of a gray area there.
So you're looking at it, and you think it's gonna fail and disrupt our ditches and,
Yeah.
or wash out our road or something
We
like
have a
that,
Stitch to it, was starting to fail, so
so
if that backed up, it, could go into the road, start washing
taking
the
out the
road out
road,
like
okay,
a couple years ago.
Like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
okay.
so by changing that one, we have a good culvert there and should avoid that issue. But yeah, that's it. If that's something you guys wanna put in the back of your minds, look at the culvert policy and, but yeah, that's,
No.
that's
Yeah, I
what
paid
it
for my
is.
culvert, I know.
You did.
Oh, yeah.
there's a culvert up just past my house by the old sawmill. Comes across the road there. Culvert's fine and everything, but the water in the last couple of winters has been, after it comes through the culvert, probably 10, 15 feet, it's getting out of its normal path, so I'm gonna take my bulldozer or my excavator and reshape that, but it's gonna be, far from here to Mike, from the road where, so it's no problem as far as you're concerned, I don't
I mean,
think.
if it's not going where it should, I mean, it's something that we could go up and.
Kinda going down
But,
my back driveway to the old sawmill. Didn't used to do that, but it's just
Yeah.
because the water that's come through has kind of washed the dirt over it. It's
Well-
no fault of yours, but it's just the effects of the way the water's coming. I can correct it because I got equipment sitting right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it this fall.
Alright, but yeah, I mean, that's something we would, or could do as well, keep it so it's not
Too far
affecting
away.
property, so,
It's too far away from the road for you guys to bother with, I'm sure.
if it's related to it, it's still.
All right, anything else on the orders? No, all right. Town manager's report.
I'm gonna start
Yep.
chucking these down your way. Those, and this. All right, so West Creek Culvert is just about wrapping up. We have just another week and a half left of finish work, backfilling up against the wing walls and getting the under interior built up. We had the state representative come today and do an inspection. He was very pleased with the work. He's happy with the placement. He's happy with the way that Rick is getting ready to fill it in. We went over a little bit of a discussion on the road. The way that the guardrails will be placed once this is completed, it kind of, when you're standing at a certain angle of the road, you can see where it kind of changed a little bit, the curvature of the road. And so we had a discussion about that. We only have so many feet that we can use under the permit that we got. So the
Okay.
permit that we got, we were allowed 1,000. And I think we used around 500 or 600 of that permit. If we wanted to move more into the wetlands, we would have to go for the big permit, and that can take up to 2 months.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, we have a little bit of wiggle room there to try to maybe smooth it out a little bit, but it's very limited. So I did talk to him about that too. Other than that, everything's going good. The guardrails are scheduled to be put up next week. We have a date for that. And that's just about it. He'll be finished, and then paving hopefully will start shortly thereafter, I believe, right?
Yeah, we could have made,
Yeah.
hopefully, and what else they have going on, but what we gotta do is as soon as possible, once we get it.
Had a lot of very kind of different calls and things to take in this past couple of weeks. We had untimely death in town, several different trespassing arrests and that sort of thing. Also, I did some covered bridge research. I put some information in your packet for a couple of upgraded cameras that look pretty beefy, that are solar powered with battery backup. So hopefully one of those appeals to you folks. I did check with Woodstock. I was told initially that they were going to get them. I think I told you,
Yeah.
and they're not. They're not getting cameras on their bridges. So I did confirm that. So that's something for you folks to let me know about. I met with Joe Bartlett concerning the stormwater flood plan master plan review. I was unfamiliar with it for you folks, so I thought it was important to sit in on that with him. And I had Chad and Sean join me. It was a Zoom meeting so that I could be brought up to speed on what is out there for us right now and what changes they may make. And I guess it's going to go over, he's probably going to be doing this over a period of a year, so it's not something that he's going to just crank out in a few months. So there'll be a lot of time for input from various people as he works through the process. He just wanted to know if there was any areas in particular that he thought we may want them to focus on. And, you know, I mean, Chad mentioned a couple, and I did too. The one side of it that was a little disappointing is that he's mostly going to focus on the village. I was kind of hoping it was going to kind of entail a little more outside of the village area too. I thought it would be nice, but that's not what this plan's all about. It doesn't have it, like, my first thing was, I was thinking about the dam. You know, if the dam was to let go, is that in this? And he said, no, that's not part of this plan, so. But it was kind of enlightening to hear what he had to say. I had several, I had a discussion with folks from the state on the corridor. I had Chad come in and sit with me on that as well. it was kind of a like a meet and greet because they knew I was new here and they wanted to kind of tell me the lay of the land, you know, all of your phases of your project and that sort of thing. They're more than happy to come back. They said if the board would like to meet with them and talk about the plans, if they, you know, would like that, they'd be happy to come back and meet with you. But this was kind of to get me up to speed with what their timelines were. And they also sent me a preliminary village plan. They started doing a drawing with regards to like lighting fixtures, like what kind do you want? Do you want to just replace what you have now? Do you want more of the arched, the fancy ones that make it look more quaint? That's an option. So there's all these different smaller, smaller decisions to make too still regarding that plan. So it was just kind of a get me up to speed type of visit, and we went over some timelines. Initially, I know when I started, John told me it was looking like 6 years, and now that's really not what they're saying. They're saying more like 10.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be lucky if
I
it's
think
12
that's
or
generous
15.
as well.
20.
So that's what I learned there. I met with the CUUD regarding progress on the communications broadband initiative. I think it's moving along, but I think it's going very slowly, this process, and I think there's a lot of confusion as to what what the organization is going to really do and how it's going to work and who's going to benefit and who won't. So I do attend the meetings, and I'm trying to keep up with it, but I don't think it has a lot of momentum. I keep waiting to hear them say, "Oh, we're going to do,"
Right.
but I don't hear that. So that's kind of where that is right now. I had a regular meeting with the Mosquito Club, I call them, but I went to that regular meeting and they went over. There was some voting going on, and we voted on their budget, the current budget, what do I want to say? Expense reports, their current situation, and then they also discussed something in executive session, which I'd be happy to talk to you about another time. They also had an emergency meeting on Monday again, and that was for the grant that they're going for with the state. There was some issues with the way it was drafted, so they made some amendments and sent it into the state, and then the state responded in kind with, they're going to come back, and then we'll probably vote on that final grant award at the next meeting, which will be in a week, next week. Okay, Bruce Martin, Ken Upmull, and Patricia Shedd, those are the three I met with from the state. I've been working on the animal dog control ordinance, and it looks good now, and I'll be kind of shimmying it your way, but I did want to ask the board, would you like me to provide you with like a couple of ordinances at a time as I get through them, just so that it's not overwhelming?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because the dog one is about 4 pages,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very good. It's got good data, and it's
Okay.
it's pertinent to today,
Mhm.
and it's also pertinent to how the state is kind of teaching
Yeah.
on these things. Because there was a recent Zoom meeting on this, so it contains a lot of the new policies that most places are doing. So that one is probably going to be ready for you at the next meeting to submit to you to look at. And then another one, the speed ordinance, and I'm trying to think of the other one that's on the top. The weights, speed and weights. I think those are the two. Yeah, I know. They're important, and they tie back a lot to money. Also, since the last meeting, I met with the Almia plant manager. Butch Shaw was there. I met Marianne from West Rutland and Mike from Proctor. And we met with them to discuss the trucks, the overweight issues, the going down the wrong road issues, and all the issues that you guys have been dealing with probably for a very long time. One thing I will say that was very impressive about them is they really are spending a lot of their own money on trying to make them stop doing what they're doing wrong. And I give them a lot of credit because I don't really know how much more they could do, other than, you know, what they're doing. They're gonna even add additional signage now. They just recently implemented putting a note, so when they get their bill of lading when they leave, it says right on it, turn right, you know, or whatever they have. I mean, they're literally, I can't think of anything else they could do. But also, Marianne, myself, and Mike are gonna get together every couple of months or so and just kind of go over each other's stuff.
Yeah.
If we have something going on, so that we can kind of stay in the loop and kind of support each other. And it was also recommended that we don't issue any permits. Yeah,
Local overweight.
and they said, that Butch had said the best way to do is to go through the motor vehicle department. My only concern with that is there's times when, you know, we're gonna need to do that. I mean, if someone's, for example, logging, I mean, you say no to an overweight logging truck, I mean, I don't know how we can say no to all of them, is I guess what I'm saying.
You can, actually,
Sure.
because what they're trying to cut down on is the cut-through trucks that are going from Hollenbeck out to West Rollin and taking with Holland.
Right.
And they're not gonna be your logging trucks.
No.
They're gonna be your dump trucks, okay? Because they like to reference the trucks as Omnia trucks, and Omnia doesn't own a truck. It's, you know, and it's not just the over-the-road or 18-wheelers, it's also the 60,000-pound tandem and triaxle dump trucks that are shortcutting it there. And the town collects a fee from once a year for the permits to run those roads. And is what Butch suggested is that we stop between Proctor, West Rutland, and Pittsford, we stop issuing them and make them go out to Route 7 and come on. That's what they're trying to do.
Mike, it's a shame that we can't have signs up here where the truck road is. There ought to be a big sign there on there. That's a state, I know it's a state law and they won't allow these signs. I don't believe they do.
Well, Butch did say in this meeting, and Brenda was right there, they're gonna try to get the state to approve a pilot program,
Yeah.
so that they can put up one of those, big signs, like, you know, it says paving ahead and stuff, and they're gonna say, all Omnia trucks to the right off exit 6. Okay, I don't know how long it will go for, but Butch said it would be a good idea if we came up with a pilot program to do that.
So that way, the trucks wouldn't even attempt to get off. You know, they would immediately see the sign.
Because
There isn't one now like that.
trucks going to Omni's, there's a lot of trucks going now there. I don't think any of us know exactly how many go there a day, but there's a pile of them.
Oh yeah.
It has to be, that's their.
He mentioned a number, and it was
Yeah,
big.
it was, yes.
It was an impressive number.
The sad part of it is, there's a lot of them truckers, they may have never been here before.
99.9% of them, Joe, have never been here
Yeah.
before. I asked them.
And it's a shame that it's not signed that well. I know you've got this anti-billboard thing here in the state, and that stops it. But if there was some way of having an exception to an industrial like Omnia, where they're off the main road, and signs could be, if the town would approve it, and I think we might, at least I would, have some signs there that would attract the eyes of the truckers. That would help, like, all get
Joe,
out.
I don't disagree with you.
They
Put up a 2x4
coming in
sign
through-
and
coming
nobody
in-
sees it.
coming in from West Rutland through Whipple, that's not good. It's not right. And that's where the cheap GPS things, I think, get them off route. I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, they did
You're
some.
exactly right.
And that's not,
Yeah.
there needs to be signs that maybe over in West Rutland that because Omnia affects on one town.
Oh, absolutely, and they know that.
And there's no signs, or very few signs, if any. And the signage could help that whole
There's as many
situation.
signs up as the state will allow them to put up, at the largest possible size that the state will allow.
There's no way that the state would allow something, let's say, some special sign for an industry like that.
No, because according to Butch, Omnia, Pittsford is not unique to this. It happens in other places in the state, and then everybody would want to follow course and.
I agree with you 100%. I see the same thing going to the International Paper Company in Ticonderoga. You're going up 22 over there in New York State. Shore Airport Road. That's the sign that goes to the paper mill. There should be a big sign there, International Paper.
I don't disagree with you.
And they run into the same thing over there. I have a CB radio in my truck, and it's unbelievable the people that are going to the paper mill in Ticonderoga. It's just like Omnia. There's trucks rolling in and out of there day and night. And they're not messing up on purpose. It's just honest accidents.
I don't disagree with you.
And we can sit here and agree, but it's too bad there wasn't some way that the state would bend their rules a little to all. That would alleviate that problem a great deal.
And that's why they mentioned trying to get the 3 town managers or 3 towns involved with a pilot program.
Yep.
And maybe we could start a new fad for the whole state, of putting up a bigger sign, a brighter sign, a better sign, to help these truckers go in the right direction.
On that main state road.
This must be a problem in many areas in the state.
Of course it is.
Oh, yeah.
The same problem.
Well, yeah,
Gotta be.
he's Butch said that. But he did say for the 3 towns to come together and try to get a pilot program to go. It may only go 6 months or a year, but at least it's a start. So
I mean, it's a shame that we need industry.
We
But
do.
We need to help them get to the industry too. And with this anti-sign thing,
I don't disagree with
Yeah, I
Joe.
know.
I'm not going to disagree.
I know you agree with me, but the thing is, what can we do? Can we go through Butch to try to get something to help alleviate
I
this?
think
Well, we're
Brenda
gonna-
has
that's-
some of those answers.
That's what I was
That's
talking
what
about,
we're talking
the program.
Right.
So the 3 of us are gonna get together every couple of months, but we're gonna try to put that together. And it's a sign the sign that we're talking about would be on Route 4, coming in towards Rutland. And it would-
He should really start at the New York line
Yeah,
and bring them all the way into Route 7
Yeah.
at 4, instead of getting off the
if they
exit
go from
6.
4 to 7, then that's not a problem.
That's not a problem.
Right, no, then you end up, but the problem is they're getting off into West Rutland,
That's just
and then they're, rather than taking a right, they're taking a left,
left, then
and
the
then
GPS
they're
tells them-
snaking out through. That's the problem, so you gotta stop them getting off.
But if you
that
start at
exit.
the New York, the line, and start putting up, Omnia,
Exit such and
straight
such.
ahead, take, I don't know how you wanna word it, but if they could do that, and the state may allow it in this pilot program.
But then, along that line, then what happens to the ones that their trucking company has given them specific directions and told them to follow them?
Their dispatcher routes them.
But
Then-
I had the conversation today with Omnia because of a trucking company that I deem as a problem. And they're gonna reach out to them purposely again and send them directions. And we're gonna see how it works.
Okay.
I mean, we're not trying to stick it to every trucker. We're trying to educate them to come in the right way and not cause any problems.
Yeah. When it comes to log trucks, there may be a timber sale in Chittenden. That might last a year or 2, and that's the end of that particular timber sale, maybe for 40 years.
Yeah.
Those trucks need to get in and out.
And we're
And
not
the
stopping
towns-
those trucks, Joe.
But they don't need to be
We're-
overloaded.
And they've been working on Whip Hollow Road. Hey, I wave to them. I know they're doing business down there. I'm not messing with them.
Right.
It's the overloaders that are coming in from, West Rutland. And I really thought it would cut down because the bridge is closed and West Creek was all dug up. it didn't slow them down.
No.
It didn't slow them down. We got as many as we always do, so.
The towns, just about all of them issue permits for heavy log trucks, for instance, or even a gravel truck. I mean, you've got 24,000-pound roads, the trucks weigh that much and more empty, or you put a load on them. Our town trucks, your dump trucks for the town of Pittsford, what do they gross in at? 50, 60,000 sometimes when you're fully loaded?
Yeah.
And you're running on a 24,000-pound road. You've got a grain truck, maybe going to Dave Mills's with a load of grain. He's gonna weigh, so he's probably registered for 80 and permitted for 90.
Yeah.
And he's all of that, maybe even a little bit more.
And Joe, that's where discretion comes in on my part, and I give a lot of discretion to those
Right.
people. Okay?
And that's the way it should be.
I do. But these guys, and I talk to everyone the same way each time. I ask them the same questions because I want the answers. They're coming in by their telephone, okay? They're coming in by Google Maps, all right? They don't even have a car GPS in their cab, okay? The ones that have the bus truck GPSs are coming in, they're coming in absolutely the right way, okay? But these guys are holding up 3 different cell phones trying to get to Omni. And when you get out on the Mower Road, you lose the signal. So, but we use discretion on, I mean, on a lot of the trucks, you know, if it's a log truck going up there doing work,
Yeah.
he has all the right to be there. If a delivery truck has to go to Dave Mills's, and he's got a brand new, I don't know, whatever's heavy, a brand new tractor, say, and it's 80,000 pounds, I'll help him get there,
Yeah.
okay? I mean, we do that.
All right, Brenda, what else you got?
Moving on.
Sorry.
So the last thing is just, I just wanted to let you know, I'm working with, a woman, at the state on a FEMA grant.
Mhm.
Trying to look into getting some decent funding to take care of, Fire Hill, the one that got missed. And I also mentioned that in conversation with, the gentleman from the state today, and even he recommended we may want to look into a bridge as opposed to a culvert. It might make more sense, he said. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. I've already started the process of submitting
No, I think
paperwork
bridge, I think.
to
No,
them
you
for this
wouldn't do
grant,
that big of a bridge.
and she's working with me on that. So I'm got my fingers crossed. She said I've made the window
Yeah, so that would be that
of
big
getting
of a
the
bridge.
paperwork in. So hopefully, I'll
Might
have
be
some-
cheaper to build a bridge.
Yeah.
Bridge, I wonder how the cost of that would compare to culverts.
That's what she's
That's
looking
what I'm
at.
going to look into. That's what I was going to look
It wouldn't
into.
be a very big one.
That was my last thing.
All right, great,
So,
thank you.
one question, on the CUD, have they picked a provider that they're gonna go with?
No, they had 2 that interviewed, and they
Okay.
have not made. I think they're going to make that vote the next. And I think, yeah, then that leads into one of the documents that I provided for you to sign. They want to know who you'd like as your voting rep. So that's in here.
All right, any select board member remarks?
A couple things. It's my understanding that the lights at Dollar General have not been
No.
shaded, but they're
Oh,
still lighting up the neighborhood. That's what the person who's complained to me before, I called him the other night to see, and he's like, nothing's changed.
Because I've been down there at night and I do see a
That's
difference.
Is there?
I
Okay,
see a difference.
okay, well, I'm just saying, maybe,
Because I really followed that one along.
yep, I don't know, he said it was still pretty bright, so I don't know.
Those lights, the way that they're engineered, they have a program. They don't have, there's no hoods. They don't do hoods on the new lights now. They have programming. And what it does is it changes the cone. And according to their insurance, at Dollar General's insurance, they have to be able to light the rear of a car. So if you pull into a parking spot in front of that building and a customer comes out, the back of that car has to be enough light for that person to see and walk. Because if not, they'll drop them. It's an insurance requirement for them. So it's kind of like a balancing act between safety and. But I was there with the electrician when
Okay,
he did it. So I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what else
This
we can
person
do.
didn't seem to think there was a huge difference, but anyway.
Yeah.
They're shutting off too early, I think. Once they shut down, I know they have kind of dark. now.
Yeah. It
Oh,
Yeah,
goes
they're
dark
shutting
at
down,
night.
so we're not out all night.
Which is
Alright.
at 10, right?
I think,
10?
yeah, maybe it was tennis, I don't find
The only
it.
lights on that all night that's bright.
There's
is
just
on
one of them, yeah,
This, where their loading dock, is,
Right.
there's a bright light there.
that's the only one. The rest of
So
the place
maybe
is cut dark.
it's that one.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
I can, look into it again if you want.
The other thing, are they ever gonna pave like the end of the truck route, the end of Pine Woods Road?
Yeah, that was,
I mean, we're gonna have blown tires. This is ridiculous.
the truck route is bad.
Truck route's bad, end of Pine Woods Road.
Depot
I mean, you
Road.
gotta stop to get on the road and you got oncoming, somebody's gonna get cleaned because of the way those are, and I don't understand why they aren't fixed.
Especially the road, like, see, driveways not.
Driveways, I mean, driveways are what they are, but these roads should be fixed.
I don't know why Hutchins disappeared after like 4 driveways.
So, yeah, he's all of a sudden gone. Maybe
I mean, I
give
can
him a call
reach
tomorrow
out to them
and
again.
say,
Maybe somebody ought to, because, you know,
Wilk doesn't know what happened.
Yeah.
well, and then in
Mixed
Wilk's,
from Wilk's.
in Wilk's thing, he said he can't do our sidewalks till they fix those things.
Right.
I think you gotta yank the chain and pull it back.
Yeah.
We're on the road, we may need a call.
Yeah, well, they could probably do a better job with the few they already did.
Yeah, I
Very
was gonna say,
good.
some of those are really,
We did have another
Questionable.
incident too while we're on that topic. I had a woman call me furious. The line striper that they subcontracted with sprayed her car with white paint.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
and that's horrible, but I'm also not surprised. They left just paint everywhere.
well, some
was a hot
kid did
mess.
one of these.
Oh, is that what it was?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I mean,
sure.
her
Yeah.
car got literally
Yeah, yeah.
sprayed. So she brought it to a place because she needed to get it cleaned. It's a brand new car.
Oh,
No.
It's going to cost $1,000 to get that paint off because it's a different kind of paint. And
Look
so
out
now
for mistakes.
I'm in the middle of that, trying to get the company and her. Resolved.
That's their responsibility.
It's a state road, so.
That's state, yeah,
Luckily,
thank
we
God,
don't
we
own
don't
the road
own
like
that one yet.
You know, if we don't get a response from giving them a call, I think probably we should call the state and
Yeah.
say, you need to get right back
No,
here.
I got a response.
Yeah.
I got a person.
Yeah. But if
I'm
you
going to
don't-
work on
if you
that.
don't,
Yeah.
That was all I
Go
had.
ahead, Joe.
Got one positive comment I'd like to make, that whoever ran your arm mower up by my house, they done a damn good job. They reached out there and down the Stevens Road, and I was pretty pleased to see the way they, well, I don't know who was running it.
Right.
I didn't even see them. They left the mower sitting across the road from my house one night, but I'm gone when they come got it.
Yeah.
But they did a damn good job of mowing them sides back. And actually, you don't have to do that every year, do you? Maybe every couple of years or what?
Every other, in certain areas, and some years,
Well, I think that's,
corners and stuff we do every year, but
those roads up in my neighborhood got the best clipping I've seen for a long time.
it's good, because that mower will help me run again.
Whoever doing it, let them keep at it.
No, there's nothing to keep
That
I
job-
like that one.
That job did it in, Joe.
Parker Road that will, but
Was it Parker Road? I know one of them.
So before your head gets too big,
Yeah.
I wasn't the mower.
no, before with him praising you, by Gittings's, down in that dip, just this side of where Gittings is, there's a tree has fallen over. It's a small tree sticking out.
Okay.
But then it doesn't look like you guys mowed the roadsides by the guardrails there, because I mean, the weeds are like 4 feet high.
It's been a while. We
Yeah.
haven't gotten out there.
But
yet.
that tree, if you were to meet somebody there, it's gonna take the side of a car. I mean, it's not just gonna scratch it, but
Yeah.
still, it's there, so.
Take care of that
Something
tree
for you to,
tomorrow.
something for you to do. Alright, I didn't want your head to swell too much from Joe.
No, don't worry about that.
One thing that
You
I,
get that new arm mower for us, we'll head right out there.
Yeah, go right over there.
Okay, well,
Be the first job you do, right?
is it a bribe?
No,
Okay.
one thing I've noticed is that damn wild parsnip. That is
Oh, it's
vicious
It's
stuff.
gotten terrible.
Yeah.
And
Even
I
state-
go over, today I went over to
I don't
Otter,
mow that crap
wells,
down.
to get a little logs, and that road over through there, it's terrible the way that, around Pittsford here, Eddie Fox, he's right onto it, and so am I.
Yeah.
and we're trying to keep our neighborhood free of it, but I don't know how much longer we're gonna be able to do it. It's coming in and it's getting back so far away from the road everywhere. It started out, if they'd have clipped it before it went to seed, I
Well,
think we wouldn't have it spreading back so far, but.
But don't you wonder where it came from, Joe? 'Cause the first anybody saw of it was on the roadside.
It started on the roadside.
It started on the roadside. You gotta wonder if it wasn't in your sand or salt to begin with, where the seeds came from, because it started, I mean,
Or someone threw it out.
It's been growing longer.
well, yeah, but it's been growing, I mean, every
Thanks, Chad.
roadside, all of a sudden it was on the roadside. Now it's,
Way back.
Yeah.
It lost
Yeah.
control.
It is a Vermont state flower.
Yeah.
probably. So, anyway, it's,
Just one thing, I think, what the police department's done in a month with a few extra hours has been pretty incredible, coming from the Citizens Act, people asking for a little more speed control, increase of $7,000 above and beyond what they did in July and August for those few extra hours. I think that's fairly commendable.
I think we should continue that along too.
Yeah, absolutely. I know.
How long was that authorized for? You know? We didn't put a
I
time on
don't
it,
think
did
we
we,
put
Tom?
time on it.
yeah, I think we did. We
Did we?
did like for 3 months or whatever it
Did we?
was, I think, and then we were gonna revisit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 months, so
See
we still got a couple months to go on it.
These
1
figures,
month.
1 month.
We've been in it, I think,
Month and a half.
last week of July we started.
Okay. Yeah, so you got August, September, October.
these figures, these dollar figures, is that what was actually collected, or is that what was written up for fines?
I have no control over.
I know.
When we get it,
know
no.
what's collected. I don't know unless I go in and physically ask Helen what has come in. But that's what I know that
What you roll.
the actual number that we wrote.
It would be nice if it were possible. See, these figures here is what your tickets added up to, I believe.
Yes.
And it would be nice to know what your net figure was when you got it all sugared off. That would be nice to, at some point.
That's the clerk's office. They handle all the received checks. I just put them out there, and if I go in and ask Helen where we're at, she'll tell me.
Can they get those figures back to you possibly, and so you could, doesn't have to be common knowledge for everybody, but at least for us, it'd be nice to know whether you're collecting 100% or 10%.
No, I know that we're not collecting 100%, Joe, because the state's taking their portion.
They take a cut.
So,
Judge
And then-
does away with some of them.
depending on, I
Yeah.
mean, these tickets may not even, if somebody wants to challenge it, it'll be 3 or 4 months before we get to court on that.
Right.
So,
But it would be nice to have the end result from these, if it were possible, we could.
the best end result I can give you, Joe, is at the end of the fiscal year, when Helen gives me, okay, I put out X amount of dollars, and this is what we received back. That's as close to factual as I can get.
Yep. Okay, thanks. All right, well, so police electronic equipment for the new vehicle.
Okay, I'll make this quick. When I ordered that car back in November, and then the car wasn't gonna be built, and then we went to the truck, and then we went back to the car, I believe that the board authorized $54,000 for car and
And
equipment,
equipment.
okay? The other day, I went and checked with Pat, and I had spent $47,257. And then, we had to get we got a fire radio for the car, we had to order a new police radio, and that was just about $2,600 for the antennas, the speakers, the new police radio, and all the attachments to the fire radio that we had for the town radio.
Mhm.
So that, without Mr. Mathematics over there, telling me, I'm about $50,000,
49.8,
okay?
49.9.
When we priced out the new camera system for the in-car system through Central Vermont Communication, they wanted $6,400 for it. So after a lot of struggling and communications with Motorola, they came back and gave me a price of $4,795. But with that, and then the installation charge is gonna be around $1,000 to put everything in the car, I'm gonna be over my $54,000 number. There is $1,000 that Tommy has donated to me for the car, so I'm at 55. So I wanted to ask that I'm gonna be a little bit over because of this camera system.
Not by my math. If you got 49.9, and then you got 3,000 for, one of your bids was 6,400, the other's 3?
No, the other
No,
one is
47.
47, not
Oh,
47.
47. Oh, with the install.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
the
you're
install
over,
was
alright,
3,000.
yeah.
So much for math award, huh?
So, I come to the board, because I'm gonna be a little bit over because things are just crazy price.
Yeah.
So you're over about 1,000 then.
Yeah, roughly, probably, yeah, $1,200.
Okay.
And I wanted to come to the board and ask, I think it's important that we have this camera system in the car.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gotta have it.
I am gonna take the radar unit out of the old car and put it in a new car, and the car that we're using as a backup car doesn't need a radar unit, we can use the handheld unit in that. The car is all decaled, we finally got the right license plates. It goes in next week for all the install stuff. So it should be, hopefully within a couple of weeks, everything comes in and everything's installed, it'll be online. But it is all decaled and everything, except for the American flag that we're waiting for. That's why I wanted to come and ask the board tonight.
Yeah, that's,
Motion?
oh, do we just need a consensus or a motion?
Just consensus of the board.
You do need a motion, Kelly says, okay.
Because it's a money thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense, sure.
How much you need?
Now is it?
1,200?
I'll make a motion not to exceed $1,500. That'll cover you in case you got anything pops up.
All right, any other discussion on
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully this call.
Oh, you riding your bike?
Yeah, plus my child's about my shorts.
Oh my goodness. All right, now our mower. Hold on, let me get my paperwork out for that. Good.
New, quote for a 24-foot. Mower. It's under $105,000. And our, one Bill said did so well, it's got a piece of the transfer station.
Oh.
How much value in scrap metal is there in that? Might be some.
There is something back
Tractor
for it.
stuff, so. Got an idea for that, but
That's something you're gonna keep to use, or you're gonna,
the tractor?
yeah,
Possibly.
this is about the highest time for selling used equipment there is,
Oh,
when it comes to that kind of equipment, so.
But, I mean, it's my thought, which, go either way. We have the flail mower that we bought, the little tractor, and the mower that was on there, then still running. So we can get back farther with the rocky area, so put that on the blue tractor. That mower, so technically we have 3 mowers available to use, keep up with our parsnip. I mean, we have, several years ago, we put it on that blue tractor. And for one thing, it's a bigger tractor, and it runs better.
Yep.
Except for, it's a little harder visibility, and when you hit something with a mower, the tractor keeps going.
Oh, yeah?
You spin it around like it does the one, so. You just gotta pay. So, I mean, that's one option, or, or we jump the mower and sell the tractor to get something back for it. I'm okay either way.
Well, I think we should junk the mower anyway if it's junk.
Yeah, I mean, the arm, the boom, one
Broke
joint
the
where it
arm.
goes, that snapped it there.
So is the head still good?
One head is, yeah. The other two aren't. I mean, they could possibly, if somebody wanted to fix them and stuff, but
Okay, so,
they're not worth it to us.
Right, so the heads are something you could sell, but the arm sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, again, if somebody wanted to sell a package deal tractor with all the pieces, somebody wanted to try to, but,
If you have a
I
use
think
for
you're gonna
it,
get more
if you have
out
a
of
use
it.
for it, then you should just hang on to it, so.
Yeah, I'd hang on to the tractor if you have a use
Not gonna
for it,
go
but mower doesn't sound like you've got
Can't
a use for
replace the
it.
tractor while he's got it.
Replacing tractors is expensive.
Right, well, no, you're right, so, but if pieces of that mower are good that somebody could use, then I think it's worth trying to sell.
Sell those, yeah,
Yeah,
sell
the
those.
ones
Sell, you know,
Yeah.
Well,
Keep
that-
traction,
that
sell those.
Blades came off earlier. We put that back together, and that one's the only one that's, would be worth it. The flail head, we ran, and that broke. Again, somebody might go get something for that. It's a bearing or something, or I don't think it's anything too serious, but. And then the other one, which we've never ran, I think they, like the motor, it's cracked. Sitting out on another tier, which you got in there, so.
I guess, I would recommend, get an idea what those are worth, see if you can sell them, get some money out of them.
Yeah.
Because we don't need junk hanging around. So, and, yeah.
Yeah.
Whether you sell them just the heads, or whether you sell it all as a package, whatever, you can get the
Yeah.
most money out of.
There was a gentleman up in northern New Hampshire that I thought we were getting rid of the mower, so we ended up having to use it one more year. He has a business roadside mowing and sweeping and stuff. That showed some interest, so I'll actually start with him. Give him a call and maybe want some parts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good idea.
Somebody who does that will buy them for parts.
Yeah.
Well,
Take
heck,
the
yeah.
parts and, yeah.
The old John Deere there with the mower on the back, that's still running fine, and
Oh, yeah.
that mower, didn't you replace that mower not too many years back?
Well, the pan mower that's on, it's 12 years old, but we bought that flail mower this spring. Or that as well. But we're still running the other one. Still running. Get used to the flail, so it's. I just, but you guys have to do a motion, do the final approval for that.
For this one? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, yeah.
So I walk out of
Just thought we'd wait a
That's
while
fine.
and see what
That's
else.
with some money.
Fortunately, that's happened before.
How much money you want total? 104, 244.87, is it?
That is.
87.
The 19-footer was like $1,500 less. So here, since we were in my $105, it's worth getting those for cheaper.
Yeah, I think so. I'd make a motion then. That we authorize $104,244.87 for the mower.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. There you're happy.
Thank you.
Can you sleep tonight now?
Yes.
Like a baby.
Yeah, that's been bothering me so much.
Alright, we only got 75 more things on this agenda.
Oh, you're taking too much time doing
Me? Alright, financial policy approval. There were a couple of things that I noticed that were just like, some just, verbiage, like we don't have like a payroll analyst. And I think Kat's official role is not, she's part-time assistant town clerk and treasurer. There's just a couple things that I think if you maybe talked with Helen and Liz to tighten this up,
Okay, yeah,
like some of the other stuff too with the financial reporting, like was it like in practice and should instead of like shall, you know what I mean? Like,
okay,
or like what we actually do versus what we should do.
yeah, okay, I can do that.
A little more specific, and I think Helen and Liz would be great for helping with that.
This was like a, kind of a once over.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm pointing out just the things that I noticed that,
I'll send it over to Helen and let her look
Okay.
at it.
great. Do you else have anything on that?
I thought it was pretty good.
If you had to have one real
Yeah.
quick,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't
That
think it
covers
was that bad.
we could tweak that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll take much.
No, I'll get to that right away.
All right, and then the ARPA survey discussion.
Yeah, there was.
I try to group them in like yeses, but. Well, let's see, what I can remember, everything that was rec related got overwhelming yeses, which was awesome. Some people made some really good, I don't know if you guys read the responses. Well, the first response was pretty detailed and made a lot of sense that some of the stuff they said no on was because we didn't actually have like a budget for it in place. So I get that, you know, for some of those bigger items. So,
Well, there were some interesting comments.
yeah.
70% of people polled wanted an updated website.
I saw that. I think it's no secret though that our website lacks a little something.
Finesse.
That might be it. I guess we just need to go through and make a list of, you know, ranked list.
I also think probably should put a couple things that maybe need attention that I think there was that are truly important,
Oh, for sure.
you know,
For
not
sure.
just wish lists.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't really know anything about the brittle water line at Pat Lee Drive, but that got a lot of yeses. I don't know how is that like gonna go any minute or what's
No,
up?
I
But,
don't know.
Everybody on the street, everybody on the street voted, yeah.
Yeah.
well,
It does need to be upgraded.
yeah. I just didn't know to what extent it was.
Yeah, I actually think if we've got some water and sewer lines that need attention, that's something that has to
Well,
be on
that's
the higher
something we're
priority,
working on.
you know?
Sure.
Definitely.
Six are good for a long time, too.
I don't know, like I don't even replace forced main piping on Elm Street and Lower Depot. I don't even know what that is.
Do we have a list from the water department on where they're having the most troubles or areas they think need biggest
Sean.
attention?
Sean would be able to tell us that.
I think we should ask the question
Yeah.
before we start down this list and say, you know, where do you see the problems being eminent? You know, something we can,
Yeah, I think he does. That's what- yeah.
Okay.
we should ask him.
Yep.
Then maybe for that list.
Mhm.
See.
Project.
Yep.
You know, sewer. We did the pump stations, there on depot and transfer station.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But there wasn't enough money for this stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
Upgrade that.
All right. Thanks.
John had that?
Yeah, that's
I can always check on them.
Well, I think before we start allocating any of this
Well,
money,
yeah,
I
we
mean,
need to.
water and sewer are two
They
big
should be,
things.
yeah,
I mean,
big
those are
priority.
priorities.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, probably followed by the rec area.
I would agree with that, Mr.
Yeah.
Mills.
And then, you know, then we see where we're at. And again, we don't have all the money yet, so
Well, that's
we
true.
don't know how much, we know how much we think we're getting, but we don't wanna spend more than we're getting. So.
Yeah, no,
and I
sure.
mean,
Chicken
from
for
my,
egg
I mean,
tax.
I don't know if we can do this or not, but, like our bridge fund for Kendall Hill, I think we need to bump a little money into that, just
Oh, yeah.
get that up, back where it should be.
Yeah, 'cause we robbed that not too long ago.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, given the number, anyway, I didn't realize we robbed it as much as we did.
They robbed it, I remember right.
So, that's something that needs to be, because at some point in time, that's gonna be a hard pill to swallow if we don't
Yes,
have
it is.
what we need for that.
Yep. And that's gonna
That's
be
gonna
coming up
hurt
for-
everybody,
Yeah.
so, those are the things we need to look at, I think. But, I think we need to get that, the water and sewer first. And
Prioritize.
prioritize,
Yes.
and then, you know,
Well, there was no
There
cost
was no
attached
cost.
to it.
There's no cost on it.
open-ended, there was no cost.
And personally, that should be a bond anyways, I think. That's all.
Or.
Which was
or
what
we
one of the
can- or if
comments
we-
said.
If we can,
Yeah.
right, or if we can work it into that
Oh, yeah, some of it,
dispatch,
that's
That
done.
makes a lot.
You ain't gonna do dispatch, sheriffs are taking it. I found that out the other day.
oh, the sheriffs are taking it?
They've applied for the grant, so
Oh, okay.
that's gonna be a done deal. They'll get it. Which I figured they would.
Where
At
will it
first
be
he
physically?
didn't want it, huh?
Where will it be physically? Where they are now, so
Yeah. They'll get a spot, I'm sure. But they don't have enough money to, I know they went for the grant, so
Hmm.
they applied. Monday, maybe? For the grant.
Oh, okay.
So that's new, just happened.
So much for that idea. All right, yeah, so,
Okay.
I don't think we can do anything until we get those
No.
water and sewer numbers.
alright.
Sidewalks under road.
So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's on the road. That's mixed up.
Okay, so we did get an updated, Chad, maybe you can help me because I know the email with the quote had numbers that didn't mean anything to me and I was trying to remember exactly where we were standing. What do those numbers refer to?
Honestly, I printed it out and
Oh, okay.
you want like locations?
Well, yeah, so
It was,
the first one was St. Alphonsus parking lot to crossing number 3066.
That's the house,
So those
where
are
the
those are
sidewalk
those are
is.
house numbers. Is that okay?
yep, that's the one just past, Nazaroni's.
Okay. Yep.
Next house there, before Danny Keith's house. Skipping the Garrow's parking lot.
Right.
Which I think was 850 feet.
850 feet, right? And then so then it crosses
It
over.
Crosses over that,
Yeah, 393.
All the way to Mechanic Street.
Yep.
yeah.
That
And
little
then-
stretch.
And then the bridge, but right past Los, crossing back over,
Well,
right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much across from Mechanic Street.
You're right.
Yep.
And
All the way up to across from Komodas.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it's
East
called.
I don't know what they are now.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything now, is it? I don't
I
know.
don't know, it's closed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, stopping at that
Mm.
cement there.
Yeah. Mhm.
All that. Yeah, 'cause there's a little bit at the school crossing, in front of the cemetery, and maybe get past the first house.
Yeah, so when the three of us walked it, we just looked at the sections in most in need. And then it was explained to me why we can't do the sidewalks, and it was more, there was more, unfortunately, if we had timed it to get this asphalt site, if we had done that before they paved, then it would have like locked it in, but
Yeah.
because the paving has already been done on 7,
oh, for the
It-
curb, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
so now that the paving's already done, to add curbing now
Good deal,
wouldn't, it'd be the super expensive, have to dig everything out,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
dig it
blah.
out, yeah, if they put down what they did, it just be knocked out with the plows and waste the money.
Paving the sidewalk is gonna raise it up above the.
Yeah, so it'll help
Right.
some.
That's gonna-
Yeah,
That's
so,
at least make a bump.
Yep.
It'll make a bump. Yeah.
Yep.
Part of a curb.
yeah, and I think,
Yeah,
didn't he say he was gonna angle it down to almost kinda, it wouldn't be like a curb, but it would be like,
Yeah, it'll be sloped down.
yeah, so there will be a barrier between the sidewalk and the road, so it'll be a definite improvement.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
And then it was now, and so it was almost $20,000 less too, 77,000.
Right, it was 90-something.
Yeah, before it was, so,
Yeah, spots. skipping.
Right. Mhm.
Because that's something we can do in another year if there's other areas.
Oh, yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
You know, we
Do a
can,
little more.
this would be like
like I
phase
said,
one.
we're going, now we'll get this road done for another
20 years.
15, 20 years, right.
So even,
Even,
10 years.
exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
no shit, no
there'll
kidding.
be nothing
they're
left.
terrible.
You'll have to, there won't even be a baseline.
No.
Well, and there are two sections from Garrow's to the church. And from the bridge across from Mechanic Street up to the top of the hill, to the ski lodge, that we're gonna just dig right out.
It's bad.
There's a rock coming up on that hill, and the other side is just so much, it's so broken up, so much grass, that we're better off digging it right down
Yeah.
to the base.
Now, what about the corner down by the funeral home on the other side, where the
That-
rebar is that something you can do there? I'll try to dig that, I don't know if it's
That
broke
actually,
away.
Tim said it really wasn't that bad, as far, I mean, it's bad, but for them to pave over it, it's not bad.
So they can pave over it?
Yep.
Okay.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Prep work, yeah, the pieces out of there, the stuff that's, yeah.
So now, do we need to rescind what we did at the last meeting with the 95,000 and change it?
No, I don't
I
know
would
the
think so.
proper. Yeah,
Yeah, I
think
think
you
so.
I think you do, yeah.
alright,
And I just add other things for you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Finalize this.
Maybe.
Probably not gonna like it, but yeah, you mentioned the comment that he doesn't wanna even be in here until Hutchins is done with Route 7. Because of their mess, and if they're working up by Keys, he doesn't wanna be down, he's gonna be in one lane. Flagging too, so I might start till they're done. So it's kinda thrown out there that possibly this project will go over until springtime.
I hate to see that myself.
And then, in spring, a lot of time to get that prep and see grass out of there. Or the other option too is do at least a section from the church.
Do
You know,
a
one
section or two
as
of it.
long as Hutchins is out.
I think we should do something.
I do too,
We
and we
gotta
really
start
need to
it,
get
at
Hutchins
least
back
start it so
here.
it looks like.
Well, no, we
That's
need to find out
ridiculous.
what's going on.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They dug that all out at the ends of those roads and
Yeah,
then they just left
they've
us.
left it, it's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, they shouldn't have dug that out until the day before they were gonna do it.
Exactly.
Well, I guess we gotta get on them first, but I
First.
do think we need to do it, at least a section.
Yeah,
If we're gonna
I mean,
put
if he has
some off,
time, and you know,
Right.
then we have to.
Well, yeah,
Right.
and that's, again, fitting into his schedule, it's already booked.
I know,
It's
I know.
something, so,
Right.
alright,
But yeah, as far as like, we're doing that section, we really can't do anything until I know this date, so I don't wanna dig it up and then
right,
Well,
have it
nothing.
become November and
Right.
they're closed and.
yep,
Right.
Yeah. well,
Sidewalk.
yeah, no, I got it,
Okay, well, that's just from conversation I had with them.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
So we need a
So-
motion then to rescind the vote on the money,
yep, which
to
was,
reduce it to change the 95,000 down to 70,000 over.
$77,250.
That's my motion. Got it, Kelly?
What are the chances that's gonna increase in price if we have to wait till spring? Should we give ourselves some cushion?
Well, I don't
Really?
know.
I mean, I don't know.
It's a quote, so
Okay,
it's a bid, right? Did we get that quote
That's-
already?
that's
Well, he's gonna hold it, I would hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I don't think he would do that.
No.
okay,
Right.
alright, I just wasn't sure, I just wanna make
And I
sure we
will
don't have to
talk
rescind
to,
this
I'll
vote
try to, I'll
again.
reach out to Hutchins again.
Okay,
I'll do that.
great,
I'll try to.
I'll second that.
Okay.
okay. All in favor say aye?
Aye. That makes it legal.
Yep,
I definitely think that we wanna do something, show that we're doing some work.
I
Whether
know,
it's just prep work, show them that we're doing something,
I know.
you know?
It'd be nice to get at least a third of it done before we got in the winter, so we had something done.
Yeah, and that's actually probably the worst. That's the worst part, but.
Well,
It's the
that's
most section that has no asphalt and all
right.
that, and, by the church, but.
yeah, Yep.
So whichever, that was just kind of the first thought, just let's
Start
start
and
now.
move our way up. I think that's the best thing to do, don't? Just start.
Parking
go
lot.
as far as we can, and then when the weather doesn't let us go, we need to
Stop.
we don't wanna have a problem.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't paid, Hutchins, did they start in a spot and complete some?
They started
at the church.
And they completed up to where?
Not far.
Not far.
Not far, okay.
No, not past,
And they
not
skip
far past.
places too.
What?
They skip places.
Yeah.
Like they haven't done the middle of the road.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy, the way they did stuff.
I know. I was not impressed how the driveway at the school even. They didn't do a very good job there.
No.
They did like really thin strips.
Yeah.
No.
That was a cheaply done job.
It was. And now he stopped job, apparently. Alright, who wants to be the new CUD rep? Anyone?
You still have one for business.
Oh.
Main Street parking signs.
Oh, the sidewalk.
Oh, I put that on new business, sorry.
I put it under.
No, you're right,
I
because
brought it up last
apparently, yeah,
time.
we did, you're right. Alright. I don't have anything to
Well,
say.
I mean, it seems to be a little bit of an issue. I don't see a problem with taking the signs out on one side. In other words, that way you don't end up with people, parked on, I mean, if somebody's parked on one side, it's not a big deal. When they're parked on both sides, it is.
Yeah.
So, so your landscape guys and whatever, they at least have a side they can pull off on and not get in trouble. So I would make the motion, and we've gotta figure out which side. And I guess I'd leave that up to Chad, whichever he thinks is the better side to have people parked on if they are.
That corner, before they use their heads when they're parking on the road, that corner past Morgan's, where Morgan's is kind of, if they're parked at the next house on that side of the road, it's.
Hmm.
Oh, should we leave them on both sides for that
Well, that
section?
corner,
You're talking where
yeah.
Hank lives, that
Yeah,
down to
well,
the bridge?
No, the
before
Morgans.
that, but
Before Morgan, where Bear,
that's
Bear,
big yellow house.
Bear
Two big
Yellow
yellow
House.
houses.
I know where Cadwell's is, that's all I know.
Yeah, on
Between
Cadwell.
that and Hank's.
Oh, between that and Hank's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Corner.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
leave
should be
them
no
up on
parking
the
on
corners. Maybe we have to leave them up on the corners.
Leave them on the corners, yeah, no parking on the corners, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Why
That
don't you
makes
do
sense.
that?
Yeah,
So
So
either,
like they can park on the right hand side,
Right.
down.
that would make sense.
okay,
Keep it on the right.
Most of the houses are on the right.
There,
okay, so you wanna remove them on the right-hand side other than that corner? So I'll make a motion to remove the no parking signs on the right-hand side of the road, other than on where the corner is.
I'll second that.
West side.
That would
No,
be
the
the west
west
side.
side.
Yeah, just one corner, or is there two you want?
Oh, there's two, head down.
There's-
Need two, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Any corner that covers it.
Yeah.
Let's do
On
that.
corners.
Any corner.
Any corner.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Yep.
Alright, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Alright,
I was just saying that the sun car, so.
Okay.
They say no parking this side. then good.
Yeah.
so, alright,
Yeah, I don't remember
so,
if they have arrows on them or not.
I think some of them are.
Might say no parking between signs, kind of goes.
Stick a magic marker.
Yeah.
Make our own, yeah.
Mm. You know what we want, figure it out. That's why we pay you the big bucks.
Yeah.
alright, it's like almost 8, let's move along.
Yeah.
I know it, Jesus.
Appoint New Town Rep, to the CUD, but didn't you say they're interviewing people?
No, this is a formality.
Oh,
So they want you folks to vote and hopefully get a representative and 2 alternates, but that's up to you. So they want you to pick.
So you willing to be the rep?
I've been going. It's pretty
Okay.
steady.
So I would make a motion to have Brenda be our representative
mhm.
and maybe, I don't know, somehow get out to people that were looking for a couple other representatives.
Yeah.
Put it
You
on
have
the second.
somebody. You have someone. He's on the. I'm not trying to remember his first name. He's on the Water Sewer Commission. He's always
Oh,
interested. So yeah, I'll reach out.
reach out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will. So they want.
Maybe Baird, I don't know, is it Baird Morgan? Baird?
No, it's
Baird, Clarence?
Clarence. Yeah. They want, so in order for me to be able to vote, when they have their next vote, they need you to sign.
Alright, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and, all of our appointment listings. Is there anything in our appointment listings that we needed, there was changes, or what was the deal?
I think there was something in here. Also, there was something in here. Something was in here. Being questioned.
Saw the list, I just
I
didn't
did
know.
too.
If everything looks okay, then that's okay.
No, I thought
Oh,
it
I looked,
okay.
yeah, I looked it
Yeah,
over,
I
it
think
seemed
it's
fine.
all right.
The fence viewers look really heavy with.
Yeah, it was. It was kinda
I know,
bad.
I didn't know you two were
Everything-
also
Well,
fence
I
viewers.
mean, we're kinda all sitting together
Yeah.
here, so I don't know if that constitutes a meeting or
Is
not.
that a legal meeting or what?
Yeah.
I'm good with everything here.
Yeah, me too.
I was too.
I make a
Okay.
motion to accept as
Okay.
presented.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hey, we'll move along.
I was on with Jack Fox, Frank Bogey, but got the lost both of them.
Aw. So we just have to okay the bus trip to New York City?
Business anyway.
Yeah.
It took me
Yeah, that doesn't cost the town any money.
No,
That's-
it's-
No,
No.
we just have to okay it.
We just have to.
Well, initially it does, but then they
No,
pay
they
the
can pay
tickets,
back.
then, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
so-
Yeah.
But
I'll
because of
make
the
a
dollar
motion to
amount, it's coming through you.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright.
Are we gonna form an equity committee?
I think given the time, we table that for
Let's
tonight.
take- Yeah, that sounds
not
like a good
tonight.
idea.
Alright. Budgeted insurance not adequate due to 18.3% increase. That's to
Yeah.
go in effect January 1st.
I wanted to
Big
talk to you
increase.
about that. So, my suggestion through research, this is gonna go up 18.3%. Blue Cross is only gonna go up 11.7. It's my recommendation to you that you change the insurance at the end of this year to Blue Cross.
Done
Did that
that
last
several
year?
times. We've done that.
I
We switched
know.
back and
Well,
forth.
we
Yeah,
have
because
to.
we have to, because we have to submit documentation to them by, I think it's November 1st.
Okay, but what I wanna see is, I wanna, if
Compare.
Blue Cross is 20 grand now and they go up 11% versus
Right.
MVP is 15 grand and they go up 8. So I wanna see the actual numbers
Yeah.
before I say anything.
Agreed.
What Blue Crosses will be. I want, rather than percentage,
So
I
what's
wanna
the
see
actual cost?
actual
Yeah.
cash numbers,
Okay.
what they're gonna cost. Is that reasonable?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
good
very
idea.
reasonable. Yeah.
Alright, so we'll address that next meeting.
Alright.
Okay, Christmas wreaths for the covered bridges. I read over that email and, she mentioned, one bridge that isn't in Pittsford, it's in Rutland Town.
Okay.
And then one bridge is half in Proctor, so she'd have to reach out to them. I assume she knows that, if she's like the,
Yeah.
It's just ours.
It's
She
probably
can do our side.
Yeah. That was great.
I know.
I think as long
and
as
they're
she's
insured, they have liability insurance.
as long as they're gonna clean them up.
But they've done it every year and they always
Yeah,
do.
they do.
Okay, well, that's just mine, I don't want,
Been a few years since.
Has
Yeah,
it
I
been a
was
few
gonna say,
years?
It
yeah.
was Kelly Long that
Used to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
oh,
bring them to us and
Yeah.
put them on.
Used to put them on.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm just used to seeing them.
They're pretty
Christmas-
down.
They
I
are
would
really
make a
pretty.
motion to do that as long
Yeah.
as they're
Yeah.
doing all the work and cleaning them up.
Yep,
Second.
They're,
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
they go to one.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what they say.
That's what they say they're insured, so.
Alright, what's Vermont Community Development Program offering?
So this is kind of tied into the whole CDBG opportunities for the town.
Okay.
So I'm kind of presenting this to you folks, so that if you want to think about maybe doing something like that.
Okay.
So it's kind of a, think about it, type thing.
Alright. Look into it and
Yeah, I guess.
address it at another time.
Yeah, if you
Table
have
it,
questions
table
or something, you can always.
Yep.
Alright, ARPA funds for additional water valve installations, which I
Yeah.
know that was tied into the sidewalks.
It was.
I guess I didn't read Sean's email as being additional, just replacing the current ones, so that they were gonna then be flush with the
But they'd be-
sidewalks?
Yeah, because so basically he's got to do this.
Yeah.
Because of the sidewalks.
Yeah, no, I
So
got that.
thought,
Mm-hmm.
He said he's kinda tight, so he's wondering if it was okay to use ARPA funding as well, just for those 27 valves.
Do we have
We didn't
a,
have a cost
do
of
we
it
have a
actually.
cost on those?
I didn't get it from him yet.
Oh, I wanna see a cost before I agree
Yeah.
to it.
Okay.
Alright, so table that. Employee handbook approval, table that, cause I
Table
wanna
that
read
one,
through that. Abatement request for homestead declaration penalty, I did read that. Anybody else read,
Yes.
I was fine with that.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we abate that.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Sure. The whole document.
Town clerk financial management questionnaire reports review and approval, that was a long one.
Yeah, it was not.
I didn't probably read through this. It's fine to me. I'll
Yeah,
make a
I
motion
don't have anything to say about it at all, I
There's a lot of
just,
it that I got
Is
to
it from
assume.
Sullivan and Powers?
It's kind of a formality.
Helen
So,
for
yeah, it's-
Sullivan and Powers.
yeah, so it's-
Formality.
Every
Alright.
year.
Every
I'll
year.
make the
Yeah.
motion
Okay,
to approve
yep.
these.
I'll second it.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I guess that ends the open part of our meeting unless anyone has anything else. Oh.
Questions, all right, I know
Yeah.
you wanna get out of here.
Yeah, well, we know you don't have anything else to do tonight but be here with us.
I had enough to eat before I got here, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Just back to the sidewalks, the signs, is that just pertaining to, we also have the signs on Arch and.
Take them off furnace, thank you very much.
I'd like to take them off everywhere, honestly, but, like Arch, I don't think we can do one side because of the sidewalks and the curbs and everything, so that'd be too loud. Furnace, you can park on one sidewalk, so I didn't know if you wanna do one side on all the roads. Leave
I would
Arch as
do
is.
Elms, let's see how it works
Okay.
first, because that was where I had
Cars
the complaint.
everywhere.
And then if that works okay and whatever, then we can revisit some of these other places.
I'd like to make a formal complaint about Furnace Road.
You have to do it right.
I'll get that to you. I had a poor babysitter years ago that parked in front of my house to watch my kids, and she was given a ticket. I came home and she was crying.
Oh, God.
Well, but that's because the business, the karate business that was next to you used to fill everything there.
Yeah.
They
And-
do very occasionally, only when they have like a big tournament
Right,
or.
but I remember when my kids were there, it was like people were parked everywhere. It was
Oh
a
yeah.
mess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
So
there was something that
that's, I
started
think
that.
what started that. Yeah, they were parking on the sidewalks, yeah.
Yeah, Proctor.
Now granted, it's hard to tell where the sidewalk is, but they were parked on it. Well, sort
In
of.
front of their driveway.
Yeah.
Well, they park along,
Oh, yeah.
The road on it. yeah. Right.
You know, don't want to kick you out, Chad, but it's
See
getting
you
late.
later. We move, we adjourn this meeting.